So Lake Atalan was actually rising, and no one knew why. I think it had been going down in previous like decades, but then at a certain point it started to rise, and so there's properties and buildings that are underwater. It's crazy. So this hostel we were at was partially submerged. It was a real, like, I guess, party hostel, but like a hippie party hostel. Not usually my style, but I stayed there for quite a while, like a couple of weeks or more, and before I ended up like moving off to somewhere a bit quieter in this town, San Marcos. God, I must have stayed on Lake Atalan for a couple of months. Could that be true? Fuck, man, I miss it. Oh. Okay. Oh man. This is the kind of drawing I do, and I just got lots of time. I can play with shapes and patterns and detail. Again, like sort of forced work, or when I'm trying to work for a certain project and get something done, that could yield good results, but there's something to be said for the natural, sort of, I guess what I consider more natural drawing, where it's just drawing for drawing's sake. And oh yeah, caramba. Why is every space I make so fucking hard to get into? Always fighting for space. Alright, the battery, or I ran out of space there while I was rambling on. Yeah, there's something to be said, for like drawings in the sketchbook. I guess some of them are for certain jobs, but otherwise, like stuff like this, there was no point to it. I was just drawing for drawing's sake, and it's such a different dynamic from drawing for a particular project. Oh shit, again, I've gone the wrong way. Yeah, more volcano stuff. Now some of these, and this, I brought this to show you guys. So these elements, this is a good example of where I've taken parts from different pages in the sketchbook and combined them to, assemble this composition here into this print. Called Strange Land. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff in this sketchbook to mine for, print ideas. I did a little probiotics fermenting course. Here's where I try to get into some drawings. Part of why I like this sketchbook so much is it has my Boy and Bear Adventure original storybook drawings in it. Now, I was working on, we'll get to those soon, but here's I must have come back to use this empty space to work on drawing sort of later in the adventure. But the adventure will be starting soon when I did those drawings in Oaxaca City. Oh, I guess we must be getting there soon. Because, these are drawings from Oaxaca City. So I left Atalan where I didn't do much drawing really. I guess I just drew a few pages of volcanoes. I was doing a lot of like hanging out with folks. Sometimes you hang out, sometimes you draw. You're not sure what's going on here. Now this drawing. This too is my bear from my little storybook. But all these flowers, it was this really cool, it was like a art book resource center. It was called something like Institute Grafica. But it was in downtown Oaxaca, across from the giant cathedral, this little private library full of art books and giant tables. You could sit there and look at them. So I would sit there and like draw stuff out of them. So yeah, there's some really trippy shit. Obviously. Yep, trippy shit. And outside Oaxaca City, it was really quite hot in Oaxaca. So I'd take some breaks and go up. There were these high mountain villages where you can go and, you know, hang out. And there was such a difference in elevation. It was really quite chilly up there. And they had all these pine trees alongside agave cactuses. And again, I had some like acid. I was just doing small doses, but I was doing some up there and enjoying it immensely. God, this is a sketch drawing I've been meaning to turn into a screen print for, you know, since 2015, I guess. One of these years. And here we start getting into the boy and bear adventure drawings. It's like the boy wakes up on an ice floe, sort of like out of nowhere, disoriented. Huh? And he meets a bear. I guess not shown. And the bear gets on the bear's back and they start swimming across the water. This is Aurora Borealis up above, that giant squiggle. Hold on, I need to skip. Sorry, let's go do this. The order's a bit mixed up. And then there's the boy and bear going along, and then they get to this like floating icebergy thing. Now we'll go back. And I guess they're hungry, I think. It's also got to be established in a frame that's not shown. But they climb up onto the iceberg thing and then notice that there's a hole with like this ladder sticking out, so they look in and then see these like strange fish people like sort of jumping away and hiding. And there's some mushrooms down there, which being hungry, they proceed to eat. And then there's some grinning little faces down here in the iceberg. After eating the mushrooms, the northern lights come down to the surface of the iceberg and they climb onto the northern lights. Let's see here. Oh. Actually, here's the duo sitting on the iceberg from a bit earlier. Here they are riding the northern lights. Woo! And then they end up like jumping off of the northern lights into planet Saturn, where they proceed to like have some pretty trippy experiences. You know, it's that kind of kid's story. And then we'll see more adventures have to happen, but unfortunately I let the ball drop on this 8 years ago. I haven't picked it up yet. But I think I've actually done some work on a couple of drawings in just yesterday, so maybe, you know, things are getting going again. This little guy trucking off a psychedelic cactus down in, gosh, did I get any of that in Mexico? I don't remember getting any. But in Peru, there's this cactus called Huachuma, and it's got peyote, or it's got mescaline in it, same as peyote, and good stuff. Whew, strong, slimy. Oh yeah, and then the very end of my trip, I came back from Guatemala, or no, after Oaxaca, like up from Guatemala to Oaxaca, and then I went over to the Yucatan Peninsula to check it out. I had heard so much. I avoided the main like party areas, but God, I went to like Bacalar. Oh, is there a drawing of Bacalar? Oh yeah, there is. It's actually a little like realistic sketch, very rare for me. Drawing of Bacalar here. It was like, a very, you know, beautiful coastal area, super tropical, turquoise sands, but also super duper hot. But then I went inland to this town called Valladolid, where I spent a week just chilling at this pretty cool hostel and doing some drawing. Again, I was doing some acid, just like small, you know, small doses, and I think it shows through in these drawings. And yeah, this page, I've used both of these for different prints. Oh shit, that looks like it's it. I got some Spanish words and stuff. I'm so bad at language. And then this was, often when I travel, I lose a lot of shit, just, you know, absentmindedly losing stuff here and there, or however you lose stuff. I don't know. This year was maybe my worst year ever, but I made a lost items list, 2014, 2015. You got my t-shirt, an EpiPen, sunglasses, a phone, fucking Jesus, pencil, pen, I got my raincoat, that sucked, bike light, don't know why I had that, my travel mug, 2 hits of acid. And it wasn't the only time I lost some acid on that trip. I had the bad habit of having some acid and putting it into a tiny plastic, like a bit of cellophane from like a cigarette pack or something, putting it in my wallet, like, oh boy, you know, yeah, I got some acid now, don't lose that. And then losing it, like either throwing it out when I was cleaning out my wallet like a total dumbass, or, I mean, who the fuck knows. Oh, Dr. Bronner's stolen in San Marcos. Valuable stuff, sought after stuff. Penknife, Nalgene container, an awesome merino wool sock. Oh, lost, oh, found, oh, good. Thermos. What is this, a bag of chia? No, it's not, this is a bag of chia. Bag of peanuts. What's this? I lost a bag of peanuts. What does it say down there? Oh, possibly eaten by cats. Jesus. Well, good for them. Toothbrush and a bag of chia. Huh. Yeah, that was a bad year. And that, I'm pretty sure, is that. Yeah, the back page, nothing to speak of. So, you know, that is, I think, my best sketchbook ever. I don't know, you know, it's not the best sketchbook ever, but there's some real good shit in there. Also, I don't usually draw with pencil first, so most of these drawings are just done straight up pen on paper. It's like something amazes me about like drawing, especially when I'm high. It's like you start with this blank page, and then you start making stuff, like just drawing lines, and then eventually, you know, something's there. Like I don't usually conceive of what I'm drawing before I draw it. Like I don't have a plan to draw a certain thing and then draw it. Although I do that as well. I guess part of what it blows my mind. Okay, this is gonna get. This is definitely gonna make no sense. Be prepared. But all right, listen to this. Like, since I have aphantasia, which is a condition that I can't picture things in my mind's eye with my eyes closed. Like if I am gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna draw, like a mountain now. Like I can't. There's no picture of what I'm gonna draw at all in my mind's eye. I do have a sort of idea of space somewhere in my head, but it's not like a visual thing at all. Although there's kind of like, it relates to visuals. It's super bizarre. But yeah, aphantasia is this condition that affects apparently like 2% of the population, something like that. 4%. You hear different things. And then a lot of people, I guess then there's like a range. A lot of people can like picture things kind of a little bit, and then some people are hyper visualizers. And I wouldn't even believe people could see things with their eyes closed, except that on certain psychedelic drugs, I've definitely experienced that. Or even like when I'm high sometimes, you can picture things really clearly. You can either picture things that you choose to, or just like visuals will just come up on their own, regardless of your will or intention. But yeah, so yeah, we got a blank page and a pen, start drawing, and it goes from nothing to a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of like magic. All right, well, didn't mean to get into some stoned like drawing philosophy or whatever that was, but thanks for tagging along for this little tour through my favorite sketchbook. And look at that, we got a few more sketchbooks to go. I guess I should have started with maybe my like somewhere in the middle and worked up to my favorite one, but there's definitely some good stuff in some of these sketchbooks. That's for sure. And a lot of filler. All right. Until next time, thanks for watching. Jacob out. Now I gotta do close-ups.